Such a good boy.
You want to be Snap famous? Yes, you are a good boy. Look.
Hogan's looking at himself in Snapchat.
Hogan. Hey, buddy. Wait. This dog, I tell you what, he's 10 weeks old. He is the best behaved pooch. Morning, Snapper. This morning, we're doing question of the day number 8. This particular question has to be in the top 5 questions that we get all the time. Question of the day number 8. How do I stay motivated and how do I procrastinate less? Today's short mini lesson is called Why No Motivation? Sad face. Why don't we have the motivation? Why do we lose it? And why do we procrastinate? Here's why. We get the distractions. We got the Facebook, we got the Instagram, we got the bloody Snapchat, we got scallywags riding around segways. We're watching this shit. We got the low energy. We got the bad health, we got the sickness, we got the ailments, we got the no money, we got the no time, we got the this, that, and the other. We don't hang out in the right circles of friends. Our girlfriend isn't supportive, our boyfriend isn't supportive, our mum and dad and teacher and preacher are not supportive. So we lose motivation. Self-esteem issues, fear of failure, fear of success. Fear. There's so many different reasons. For each one of these reasons, there's books and videos and industries created to fix it, to help it, to mask it. In my opinion, they're all bullshit. The person who's complaining and procrastinating because they got no money, you give them a heap of money and they still don't get the result. The person who complains about not being motivated because they haven't got enough time, you rearrange the schedule, you free up another 2 to 3 hours a day, and they still don't get the result. And if, in the changes, they do get a boost of motivation, it never usually lasts. It's not long lasting. Because all these little niggling things, even though they may genuinely be issues in and of themselves, they're not the cause of your lack of motivation. They're a symptom, they're a side effect. They're a symptom and side effect of a more deeply rooted cause of the lack of motivation, which many people who are suffering from a lack of motivation don't really want to address and talk about. So, if you want to stop wasting time and fucking around with this thing and doing crazy things like getting up and having a routine of watching a motivational video every morning because you need it, not that there's anything wrong with watching motivational videos at all, I love them. But if you're doing that and you're not actually addressing the real cause of the lack of motivation, you're wasting time. Then there's only 2. This one here accounts for 90% of the people who don't have the motivation. It's just not that important to you. When something's important to you, when something's really, really, really important to you, you don't need to watch a bloody YouTube video to get pumped up. Now, this is the one that people don't want to, a lot of people with no motivation want to talk, they don't want to talk about it because they become infatuated with doing some particular thing and they don't want to sway from that. You can be successful in something that's not important to you. You can be. You can claw and scratch and holler and fight your way to success. And you can get it. I've seen it. But fuck that. That's a fuck of a way to do life. When you're doing something that you really love, you don't need motivation and it's easy. I should use that word sparingly, easy. It's not easy, but when you're doing something that you love, there is a feeling of effortlessness and flow. We human beings are inspired creatures. When we're doing the things that we love, when we're following the language of love, which we're going to talk to you about in a second, we're on fire. You've met the people who you know that what they're doing, they are on this planet to do that. And when you see them in action, you're like, fuck, there's something about them. Everyone has that. It's not motivation. They don't get up, they don't get that energy and that presence from waking up and watching YouTube videos. They get it from within. It's inner inspiration, comes from the soul. They've given themselves permission to do something that they love. They've given themselves permission to do what they're here on earth to do. That's how they get it. If you're not interested in scratching and clawing and hollering and fighting through all this shit, realize that it's not that important to you. Know yourself, be yourself, love yourself. You tell me what you love doing, I'll tell you how to monetize it. You'll be more successful in that than any other thing. If you're good at painting photos or making clay sculptures or playing the piano and you love doing it and you're here on earth to do it, you'll make more money doing that than being a Wall Street trader. Do this right now. This is a little homework assignment. The language of love. It's a little exercise I have my coaching clients do. Write down 1 to 20 and write down 20 things that you say you love. It might sound easy and obvious and not beneficial. Do it. No one ever does this shit. The things that you love, the things that you're drawn to are uniquely you. They're fingerprint specific. They're for you. And when you do it, make sure you're writing down the things that when you talk in everyday conversation, you describe it with the word love. For example, I love tater tots. Do the 20, keep writing. Don't think about whether you can make a career out of it, maybe make friggin' money of it. Write down the foods you love, the colors you love, the songs you love. Write down everything you love. And if you do it long enough, and I say do 20, but once you get on a roll, you want to keep doing more, and you start to open up, and then your heart opens up to the more things that you love, and you have a full page. And that page, if you could get a photo or an Instagram shot of your soul, that's what it is. That's what it will be. It'll be a page of things that you love. That's your soul. Somewhere on that page is your most inspired mission. There'll be something on there, a combination of a couple of different things that you can put together, and you can dedicate your life to that. And if you do it, and if you give yourself permission to follow it, and ignore the other crap, the other things that the other people want you to do, and you follow your heart, as they say, the fucking cliche, you'll tap the fire. That's how you get to that state of energy and presence and inspiration from within. You don't need the YouTube video. You have fire in the heart. The second thing accounts for 10% of true lack of motivation. The second thing is overwhelm. If you do find what you love, but you're laboring and lagging, then you're in the wrong gear. You're taking on too much load early on in the piece. You haven't chunked down all the things that you need to do in a step-by-step fashion to actually start. You've got no clarity, so you can't start. The other week I bought a Lamborghini. It's fucking fast. It's ridiculously fast. 600 odd horsepower. Here's the thing. When you start in 7th gear, when you're at the traffic lights and you try and take off in 7th gear, it doesn't go anyplace too fast. The Prius next to me will smoke me to 60 k's an hour. Same car, same engine, same power, different speed, different acceleration. I'm laboring the motor because I'm not in the right gear. Same as you beautiful people. If you haven't chunked down really what you've got to do and do it step by step and start in 1st gear, accelerate to 2nd and then go to the next level progressively, then you'll have all this untapped power and potential. You've got the power there, you've got the potential there, you've got the 600 horsepower there. Get in the right gear, get clear, take off. Why no motivation? If you don't want to fuck around wasting time with all the nigglies, get to the root cause, there's only 2. Most likely, it's just not that important to you. Whatever it is that you're doing, the business, the venture, the business in a box, they're trying to get abs, it's just not that important to you. Rather than infatuate with someone else and try and be someone else and live up to someone else's goals, realize that it's not that important to you. Know yourself, be yourself, love yourself. And when you do the language of love homework assignment, you write your 20 things and the 20 things turn into 200 things and you've got the full page glimpse of your soul and you've chosen some things that you want to dedicate your life to, then the next thing is to make sure you don't get overwhelmed with it. Chunk it down. Get in the right gear, chunk it down, step by step, day by day, and you will be on fire. This motivation formula has a 100% strike rate. I guarantee it 100% of the time, every time. You get someone who's doing what they love doing, something that's deeply, deeply, truly meaningful to them, and they're here on earth to do it, and they're clear, and they're chunked down, and they've got a step-by-step plan, and they're in the right gear, and they're trying to launch up the lights in 7th gear, they'll be inspired from within. They won't need the external motivation. They will be on fire. Their soul will be on fire.